All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Marks Hell in a Cell 2014 review. We are the Wrestling Marks. I am Giovanni with Alvin Alpha. Let's get right into this. So, the first match of the night was on the pre-show between Mark Henry and Bo Washington. Before the match, Bo came out with a promo talking about how since he is 4-0 against Mark Henry, that makes him the newest world's strongest man, which I liked him saying because I'm such a Bo mark. And he started cutting this promo how he was he said, "I'm sad that you guys are my last name," because they were in Dallas, Texas. So he decided he would change his name for the night to Bo Washington. And then he started talking about how Dallas is spreading this disease across the United States. Ebola, right? No, that's bad. That is horrible. That cheap heat, Bo. So Bo gets into the match, and before he can even take his shirt off, he starts getting attacked by Mark Henry, and this match is started, and Mark Henry wins the match in like the shortest amount of time in the world. I don't even think it was a minute. And when Mark was celebrating his win, Bo was on the mic really selling the loss, like acting like he was super hurt, and was saying that what did he say? Cheaters never win. So that means that Bo Dallas won the match, and he is still undefeated against Mark Henry in this like weird feud.
This is a weird feud, but I don't really have much to say, honestly. But Bo did pick up the win, and I thought it was pretty funny when he was like, "Yeah, you cheated!" And he was like a little kid bratting and all that. So I guess that was pretty funny. But once we go into the Rio show, our first match, I kind of expected it to be our first match. Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro. 2 out of 3 falls for the Intercontinental Championship. And Dolph picked up the wins after 2 falls straight. And this match was really good, actually. But really short and not what I expected. I expected a lot. Well, at least a little bit better, but I guess this is what, good for what it was, but they set up the spot where, like, Ziggler had Cesaro in a guillotine lock, and Cesaro just climbed up the second rope, and he hit, like, this huge superplex. That was crazy, honestly. Like, that was the highest superplex I think I've seen, honestly.
And it was even from the top rope. It was
it was from the second rope.
The second rope.
That's amazing.
And it was huge.
That like that. I honestly thought that could have maybe got the win, but Cesaro didn't even get one fall, which was really surprising because, it's really funny too because you actually thought Cesaro was gonna come out to win, but he didn't.
Yeah,
even
I thought Cesaro. Yeah, that actually really pissed me off. Not that he didn't come out with the win, but that he didn't even get a fall. Like, really? That's lame. Like, why? So yeah, Dolph won, retaining the championship, burying Cesaro forever. And then we went into a significantly better match than that, am I right? Between the Bella twins, Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella, where the loser would become the winner's personal assistant for 30 days, and if that loser did not cooperate, they would have to quit the WWE. And this match was like really, I just want to say, first of all, I like Brie's new attire. It's a lot better than her other one, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to be positive. I thought it was pretty cool that Brie like suicide dove between the middle rope on the outside to Nikki. That was pretty cool. I can't even call it cool without. I can't genuinely call that cool because it was really bad. But Nikki Bella won the match after two what is rack attacks.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest. Oh, it's such a weird name. So yeah, she won with the rack attack. And then later on in the night, we saw a little segment of Brie being the personal assistant, where she loaded up Nikki's bags into the
Uh,
car, and then Nikki comes and she's like, "Do you have my smoothie, Brie?" And Brie gives her smoothie, which was from McDonald's. Pretty, I could tell, pretty bad. Like, and then she's like, "Oh, did you put this in it? Did you put this in it?" And then she dumped it onto Bree's head and drove away. So that is just the beginning of a month's worth of
uh,
horrible, horrible segments.
that's exactly on point.
Yeah, that's exactly what you predicted would
Yeah,
happen.
the John Cena, and because like the first time John, like way better till John Cena get like a glass of water. You
Go
already,
fetch me a glass of water.
and then he just spit it on him. Okay,
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I don't want this glass of water.
are we gonna pretend like that never happened? Like,
WWE is
no.
gonna pretend like that never happened, that's for sure. Just like they
Like,
pretend that Nikki is not in a relationship with John.
well, that's because, well, that's different, I think, because Bree is actually married to Daniel, but Nikki and John are not. They're just dating, and they could just,
Yeah, I guess that's true. They could just
so,
split at any moment.
yeah. But next we have Goldust and Stardust versus the Usos for the tag team championships, and then, it was alright. I mean, I'm kind of getting sick of seeing these guys compete. Honestly, I'm kind of almost sick of the Usos. I still think the Wyatt family should have won, but um, this ended up with Goldust hitting the final cut, which I love, by the way. Beautiful finisher. And Goldust won with the final cut on one of the Usos. I can barely tell them apart, but
All I
Go-
know is one of them is on Total Divas and the other one isn't.
I'm not even gonna talk about that because I don't give a shit about Total Divas. But I guess that was it. Goldust just won for his team with Stardust, and that was it. So,
Yeah, so they retained the tag team championships, which I would just like to say I predicted.
what?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you did. Never
yeah,
mind.
I did. I predicted. I actually had to go back and see if that's what I predicted,
I think
because
I remember now since we're talking.
yeah, but yeah. So then we go on to the first Hell in a Cell match of the night between these longtime rivals, John Cena and Randy Orton. Oh my God. And the winner of this match would be going on to face Brock Lesnar at any time for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So let's get into the match. It was a pretty long match, actually. And I actually didn't expect them to bring out any weapons whatsoever, but they did use a table, a chair, and the
Steps.
steel steps, which was pretty cool. I would say, because we all say that these two have faced too many times and it's always the same thing, but I thought just adding that was made the match better. But yeah, they didn't use the actual cell that much. They did it like maybe a few times and then kind of moved on to the weapons and whatever. So the ending of the match was actually like I saw that coming from a mile away. I think John set up the table and then placed Randy onto it, and he climbed the top rope, and Michael Cole was just like, "Oh, he's gonna go for the leg drop from the top rope." But before he could even leap off, I actually thought Randy was gonna catch him with the RKO
Yeah,
somehow.
through the table.
but Randy got up and started punching him, and kind of almost went for a suplex.
It was an RKO.
No. He went to the top rope for the RKO. But I was like, that's not gonna happen. He's not gonna do that. And then John pushed them away, and I was like, all right, John's probably gonna like AA him through the table. And what happens? Like Randy climbs the rope again to try to get John, but John puts him on his shoulders, and then AAs him through the table, and then gets the victory. Yay!
Yeah.
So John Cena's gonna face Brock Lesnar for a third time. Yay! Third time's a charm, you know what they say.
Not really, but
And then John like stared off at Paul Heyman, and at first I thought he was staring at the girl in front row, and I was like, what are you doing, John? But it was Paul Heyman in the crowd. And then he kind of acted like he was the main event, and like took forever to freaking leave the damn arena. Like, please stop. So yeah, John won.
I actually really like. I thought John Cena was gonna win, and
Yeah. I think everyone
automatically knew he was gonna win after. It was a close spot, and they've done it before, but John Cena went for the AA, and then Randy Orton like grabbed his head and hit the RKO. So that like, and he kicked out. So that was like, it's done. It's like John Cena's winning now. There's like no way.
Yeah, if you kicked out of that spot, Cena, this time.
It's
You're
like
winning.
like next match, I'm about to go. Like Miz hit the skull crushing finale, and James kicked out. Miz is losing.
Yeah.
Fair. Like
Yep.
it was awful, but all right, let's talk about that. Sheamus versus The Miz for the United States Championship, and it was. I don't even know what to say about this match because I was just paying attention to his standout.
Yeah, me too.
But Sheamus eventually won off a midair bro kick, which was alright, cool. It was like cool for me, cool in my book. And Sheamus retains, and then after, like, they had a little fun with Mizdow, and I don't even know like what to say about this. I mean, that was pretty funny though. That was funny. I think the
Yeah.
only funny thing they've I think it's the only funny thing that they had that's not cheesy and not have a bunny and all that.
Or a
So,
crocodile.
or a cheeseburger, or a whole bunch of people dancing. But you know what? I've never seen that before in my life. So,
Mizdow was the most entertaining thing about that match. And yeah, I honestly thought The Miz was going to win after the skull crushing finale, and then when he kicked out,
I feel
just like you said, like, no.
it was like very downgraded because the crowd was dead. Like,
Yeah, the crowd was dead for a lot of this pay-per-view, I feel.
except for the last match, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was amazing, but you can.
We'll get to that. And then next we had the fight between Russia and the United States of America, between Rusev and Big Show. And by God, could I have been more wrong about this match? Like, first of all, like, I don't understand what they do with Rusev at this point. Like, they build up this guy who'll face him, who everyone thinks he's gonna be the one to beat him, and then like he gets his ass kicked a few times, but it's not official because he doesn't lose the match. And then when it comes down to the pay-per-view, he wins, and it's just really stupid. So, and then everyone on like social media, like right when Mark Henry came out to the ring, were like, "Oh, he's turning heel," which he didn't, which
really
he
thought-
should have.
I really thought he was going to.
I knew he wouldn't because that wouldn't really make sense. Like, because that would be like they'd have to kind of work that in to be like, "Oh, why'd you turn your back in on the United States Or why'd you turn your back on the United States? Why'd you do that? Are you Russian now? But so Big Show lost via submission to the Accolade. Because that's never happened before. We've never seen someone tap out to the Accolade. And then, gosh, what a horrible match.
But it was, you know, I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that good of a match, honestly, like at all. But I was right though. I kind of knew Reese was gonna win, but I don't know who can stop him, and I don't really know what's gonna happen.
John Cena.
John Cena has fucking what's his face? Brock Lesnar. Well, I guess I don't know. I'd have Cena win. I'm good with that. I don't really. I'm just sick of Rusev, honestly. I'm sick of the Accolade and all that, and he's not doing anything new. And it's never gonna get new. It's never gonna get different unless someone beats him. So.
Yeah. And when they beat him, he'll go on to become either a comedy act or just disappear forever. Which
I guess.
Which has happened to a Russian before. So it could happen again, even though he's not Russian.
I guess. Well, next we have AJ Lee versus Paige for the Divas Championship for like the 7th time. And this match was pretty good. It was good for what it was. But I don't think it was like their best match, honestly. Well, I don't really know, honestly, but I mean, in my opinion, I would say the SummerSlam match was probably maybe their best match. But yeah. So eventually Paige lost after Paige was outside and they're about to get countered out. Alicia Fox picked up Paige, threw her in, and AJ Lee locked in the Black Widow, and Paige automatically tapped out, and that was it.
I thought she was just slapping her ass to try to get out of the hold, but apparently the ref thought otherwise. Just kidding.
But AJ did win, and that was the second to last match before the main event, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose.
Ooh. Damn. First, let me just say that I was disappointed that this match was actually shorter than the other Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, but it was more entertaining anyways.
It was. So we started off with Dean Ambrose's crazy ass running down to the ring and going into the Hell in a Cell structure, and then he goes under the ring and starts throwing shit all over the place, and isn't shit, I mean just chairs. He threw quite a few chairs into the ring and then threw some bag in the ring, which wasn't his bag of weapons, because no weapons flew out of the bag. And then he left the structure and then started climbing the top of the cell. And I don't know who I said it to. I'm not sure if it was you, but I actually thought it would have been cool if they started on the top of the cell.
Nah, you did not say that to me.
Well, I said it to someone. I know I did. And then Seth Rollins comes out hella mad with the Cruiserweight division, and he's yelling at Dean Ambrose to get down and to start in the ring. And then he's like, okay, you want to start up there? And he leaves the cell, and he's starting to climb. He wants to start to climb the cell, but then he jumps down and starts yelling at Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble that they need to climb the cage because they work for me. You guys work for me. You do what I do. I want you to do. So poor Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury have to climb to the very top, and I don't know why them climbing up the cage made me so nervous. But I was pretty sure one of them was gonna fall, but they didn't. That sucks. That's horrible. So they climb on either side of the cage, basically surrounding Dean, and then Dean kicks their ass with the kendo stick that he's been twirling around, and then Seth Rollins climbs the cage and attacks Dean from behind, and this and that, and then he's hitting him with the kendo stick, and then he tells Joey Merc. Oh, well, first he threw the kendo stick off the cage, which that scared me because I was just thinking, okay, if one of them fall off right now, that's what it's gonna be like. So he like kind of just let it fall off, and then he told Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury to throw Dean Ambrose off the cell. And I'm not gonna lie, this probably makes me a really bad person, but I really wanted them to do it. Does that make me a horrible person?
Nah,
Because I wanted them to throw him off the cage, but at the same time I didn't. But Dean like hulked up and started fighting them back and forth, and then they kind of got. I believe he suplexed one of them. I'm not sure if that was before. I think that was then.
No, I think he suplexed someone on the.
Yeah, he
when he was
suplexed
fighting
one of
back.
them on the top, and I thought it was gonna break.
Are you
Oh,
serious?
I
Nah.
thought it was gonna break, like not when he suplexed, but after, like, because it was Jamie Noble, I believe, and when Jamie Noble was like moving around selling the suplex, I was like, what if it just broke when he was selling it, like on already after the move? But nothing happened, and then Seth tried to escape climbing down the cage, which he like missed his foot and like was dangling off for a few seconds, but then he got his foot into the hole. That sounds weird. And then Dean started climbing down as well. So they're like right next to each other, like halfway up the cell. And Dean sent Seth with a punch, and Seth hit Dean with a punch, and they're both like teasing that they were gonna fall off. Whew, and then Dean hits a headbutt to Seth Rollins, and they both go flying off the cell through the announcer's tables. Like, that was. I honestly would have been, like, fine if they had ended the match like that, because that's just insane.
Nah,
That's like 10 feet in the air.
I didn't think that was gonna end it, honestly.
I thought they were going to do that, because I actually
Nah.
thought Seth was hurt, because he was, like,
I thought that too,
breathing
actually.
hard as hell, so I thought it was going to be the end of the
But nah,
match.
that's just good acting, I guess.
Oh, that's insane to me. Like, and the match didn't really even start yet, because the bell didn't ring officially.
Because they weren't in the cell.
Yeah, so that's they did all that before the match even started. Like, what in the hell? In a cell? I'm good at puns. Just kidding, not really. So the referees are like checking on them, and then like start asking for like the doctors and whatever. So they come with stretchers, and first they take Seth away, and then they take Dean. But like Dean only moves like a few feet on the stretcher before like going crazy, and he honestly looked like a person who was being carried into a sane he looked like a person who was being carried into an insane asylum, which was fits his character. And then he like unbuckles his shit from the stretcher and like runs around the cell and like jumps on one of the EMTs. And I was like, that guy has nothing to do with the show. Why would you do that to him? So, and then I thought it was really weird that he went to unbuckle Seth because it looked really wrong. I'm sorry. But he unbuckled Seth's thing and then threw him into the cell, and then was like yelling at the referee to close it. And then the match started. Which, ooh. The match was Mm, uh, the match was good, I would say. There was a lot of spots using the chairs. I think Seth. No, I mean Dean. I think Dean was putting the chairs to use a little more than Seth. I believe he suplexed him into the pile. No, he was going to suplex him into the pile, and then Seth back suplexed him into the pile, which I was just like, why would you do that? Because you got the same amount of pain as him. And then they did two table spots where the table was like across in the cell, and Dean hit like an elbow drop onto Seth through the table. And then I think before that, the other one. Was it before the other
It
one?
was after. Seth Rollins hit like a power bomb through a table.
But was that before cocaine?
Cocaine.
Yeah. Remember your favorite part of the cell match?
Fuck you. That was horrible.
Anyways,
I rolled my eyes so bad, man.
Dean was like smashing Seth's face on the cell, and then like out of nowhere you just see the smoke coming from behind the camera, and then Kane's there with a fire extinguisher, and then the other table spot was a power bomb through the table that was like standing upwards, and whatever. And I'm just gonna skip to the end of this pretty much. So Dean got cinder blocks and had them in the ring, and then the lights go out. The lights are gone. I thought it was like a camera error at first, but then this voice started and saying these words of a different language. I would assume a pretty recognizable voice, I would have to say. And the lights come back, and the light is being generated from a lantern. Who do we know that uses a lantern? I don't know. And there's smoke coming out of the ring, and there's a figure in the smoke, a ghost-like figure, a very spooky ghost-like figure. And then through the smoke runs Bray Wyatt. Why'd you sigh? Why did you sigh when I said Bray Wyatt?
No reason.
So, after Bray Wyatt like attacks Dean, the lights go back out, and then when they come back, he is upside down. He is upside down, and he starts crawling. And oh my gosh, it's the return of Bray Wyatt. When was the last time we seen Bray? Maybe at like
No champions.
Night of Champions.
No,
Yeah.
actually,
No.
he wasn't even there. SummerSlam.
Yeah, SummerSlam. So he's been gone since SummerSlam, and then he returns to screw over Dean Ambrose. And Seth gets the victory because of Bray's interference. And then after Seth gets the victory, he leaves the ring, and Bray hits a Sister Abigail onto Dean Ambrose, ending the show. And my boring descriptions.
I don't know how to feel about this, honestly. It's like half and half for me, honestly. Because, like, one, this is like the fourth, fifth screw job for Dean. But on the other half, it's like, holy shit. Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt feuding, and there was no Wyatt family, it was just him. I cannot wait for this match. I cannot wait for the promos. I cannot wait for all those segments that they will have. Every segment that they will have probably is going to be gold.
It is going to be gold.
I actually got really creeped out by the little what he said.
Ghost?
No, not the ghost. Like when it went black and then he started speaking.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I
At
think,
first, I thought it was Bray's voice, and then he started like it started to progress, and I was like, "What the hell is that? What is he saying? That can't be Bray." And then I was like, "No, that is Bray. Is it? No."
eventually it is,
And
okay?
then it was. But I'm surprised because a lot of people are upset like you at the fact. Yeah, I could see why, but it's gonna be. You have to just look in the long run. It's gonna be an amazing feud between Dean and
I already
Bray.
said that. I just said it was half and half.
I know, but there's so many people who aren't looking at that.
Well, that's other people, you know. It's whatever, you know. It is what we will see an amazing feud, and probably gonna like a way for Seth Rollins to go in with Brock and Cena.
Or
Uh,
Randy, 'cause everyone wants
mm,
to see that.
well, I do actually.
You see
Uh,
Randy and Seth?
I would want to see that.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I
I
would want
said
to see.
you. Oh, you would.
Yeah, I would.
Gross. I don't want to see anything with Randy anymore. I don't want to see anything with Cena anymore. I'll
Oh
say it
well.
right now. I don't even want to see Brock Lesnar.
I had a feeling you would say that sometime in the future. But that was the end of the pay-per-view. Seth Rollins won, and I got all my predictions right except for the last match, and I was so disappointed. But is
Got,
there anything else you want to say?
I got a lot of my predictions wrong, actually.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was really happy.
Screw you. I'm gonna rate this here pay-per-view right now. I'm gonna rate this a 7 out of 10.
I was going to say 8, but yeah, 8. 8 out
All
of
right.
10.
All right. So
Uh,
now you can't say that I purposely alter mine
yes, I
for
know.
you.
I know. I mean, I could have easily just said 7 too, but I'm not like that. So, that was it for our Hell in a Cell review analysis, whatever, analysis, or however you say it. Doesn't matter. I'm Alvin Alpha, XXOMG, my partner, TheWrestlingMarks. Follow us on Twitter. The links will be down below. Subscribe, like this video, share this video, and all that. Did you think this was a good pay-per-view? I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view.
I
Especially,
thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view
yeah.
because it was pretty crappy build-up, but it was pretty good
Yeah,
pay-per-view
like
for
sometimes they
it.
do that. Sometimes they like have really bad build-up, but then they have like really good matches.
Yeah.
But I guess this was like one of those situations. But thank you for watching once again. Just share, and all that. Goodbye. And thank you for watching.